Warning: this video contains themes of violence, gang activity, and even death. This video was made for educational purposes only, intended to shed light on real historical events that took place in the rough state of South Carolina. In no way am I trying to glorify the street life or any of the characters in this video for their actions. With all that being said, enjoy the video. As we recently covered in our last South Carolina documentary featuring Orangeburg's own PG Raw, this video has the same overall theme of gang banging, murder, and get back. Only difference is today, the artist we're focused on is the one who indeed was owed some get back. Today we're focused on one South Carolina artist in particular, the one and the only, Trap Dickey. You may have seen Trap Dickey on some of the biggest hip-hop platforms in the world, like say Cheese, Academics, and even Drusky's could have been records, but to no surprise, all of those videos have one thing in common: the comments. Some compliment his stylish lyrics and classy choice of wardrobe, but others all ask the same question: what's wrong with his eye? Ladies and gentlemen, with a lot of dedication and research, I believe we have found the answer. Trap Dickey, originally from the small town of Cheraw, South Carolina, grew up just like any other child, enjoying his youthful years and playing sports as a youth. As he grew older, Trap Dickey found himself in the gritty streets of Hartsville, SC. He'd claim his block to be Lincoln Avenue, one of the most feared and dangerous streets in Hartsville. Growing up, he was no stranger to the streets as he turned cold after losing his father to the street life at just the age of 1 year old. At just the young age of 16-year-old, Trap Dickey found himself in the middle of Lincoln Avenue, actually being one of the top members of his gang. LA Gang, or Los Angeles Crips, is the gang Trap Dickey would be known to claim and represent. Of course, being a street legend and living a life of creamy would come with some downfalls, and the biggest one would be the opposition in his own city. In August of 2016, an 18-year-old man was found deceased in the middle of a street around 10:35 p.m. Monday. Shortly after gunshots were reported in the area, police on scene said a passerby called 911 after seeing a person dead at Williams and South 6th Street in Hartsville. The young man turned out to be Zay Peterson, younger brother of another Hartsville rapper from across the tracks, as you can hear Trap Dickey reference in a lot of his music. Lil Red, devastated by the loss of his brother, Lil Red vowed to get revenge for his death, and he wouldn't stop until he found the people responsible. In July of 2017, deputies responded to a call from a farmer around 11 a.m. saying he found the body of a young man dead in the field. When deputies arrived, they found a man that had allegedly been shot to death. They said he was shot multiple times in the head and chest. The man turned to be 23-year-old Rashad Rodrigo Jackson of Hartsville, an affiliate of Lil Red. This would draw the line for him. With so much animosity in the streets on Hartsville and so much hurt in the city about the death of Zay and Rashad, Lil Red was determined to make someone pay for what happened to his brother and friend. One evening, Lil Red, out alone in Trap Dickey's hood looking for retribution, ran into Trap Dickey and 4 of his friends. He immediately pulled out his weapon and began to fire at the group, striking Trap Dickey in his face and fleeing the scene before deputies arrived. Lil Red would go on to celebrate by shooting his highest viewed music video on Trap Dickey's Lincoln Avenue. But the disrespect would not stop there. He'd go on to taunt Trap Dickey in the music video by wearing an eye patch, because Trap Dickey was also forced to wear an eye patch because of his injuries. After recovering from his wounds, Trap Dickey began his musical journey as he could be seen dropping track after track filled with pain and telling the story of his life and growing up in Lincoln Avenue. He can even be seen on an interview talking about his injuries.
Big and small, lazy eye driller, big and small.
So when you got shot in your face, that's what happened with your eye?
Yeah, the bullet really went in and it was stuck on the side of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so when it went in, it was stuck. Actually, the doctors didn't know that a bullet was in there.
Mm-hmm.
Not long after releasing his last visual on YouTube, Lil Red would once again live up to his name as a shooter in the streets. as he would be arrested for the murder of one of Trap Dickey's affiliates. He'd eventually take that charge all the way to trial. He ended up being sentenced to 11 years after pleading guilty to voluntary manslaughter after the jury indicated that it could not reach an unanimous verdict for a murder charge. That same year, Trap Dickey would be picked up and charged for a previous murder we talked about this video, Rashad Rodrigo Jackson. As he sat awaiting a bond, his music would skyrocket as his fans and supporters kept his music playing through his tough times. Eventually, Trap Dickey would be released on bond for the murder, and he would continue to drop his music, racking up hundreds of thousands of views. He would gain the attention of Say Cheese TV as they go on to post him and his music. That would get the attention of music legend, Akon. He'd go on to sign Trap Dickey to his label. That wasn't enough to convince Trap Dickey, though, as he was still a huge street figure in his city and his reputation meant he had to stay on top of his game in the dangerous lifestyle he chose. On January 22, 2019, while riding through Greensboro, Georgia with his cousin, they were pulled over. Trap Dickey was caught with 2 pounds marijuana and 15 guns. After federal agents arrived, he was arrested and transported to the local jail. While in jail, he received shout-outs from big artists, and soon enough he was released and back on his musical journey. There you have it. Y'all asked and we delivered. If you like these videos, please give us a comment and subscribe to our channel, and we will definitely make more.